Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Al Rogers. I am the Sacramento County Office of Education Deputy Superintendent of Instruction, and it really is my pleasure to welcome you all to this event. Our student presenters and their coaches have invested a ton of time getting ready for this. I think you are about to be captivated. I think you're about to be moved and inspired. And I have to say, it's also an unexpected pleasure, but one of my students is also here today, so I'm really excited to hear what she has to say as well. It's a special treat for me. I also want to take a moment and thank Rosemont High School and the Sacramento City Unified School District for hosting this event. It's a beautiful facility, and I think that altogether this will be one of the most rewarding programs you'll ever experience. Students, thank you for being here, really. This is a lot of work for you, and we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules. And then also we need to thank our Poetry Out Loud coordinators from each of the schools. I forget the exact number, but it seems like we're having a wide, an expanded appeal. So there are lots of different schools and different school districts represented here, and this represents a regional effort. So thank you, all of you. I don't know that we have our trustees here today, but I anticipate that our trustees may be here, and I think there's somebody up. Okay, well, I want to take a moment then and thank Heather Davis, one of our trustees. I appreciate you being here, Ms. Davis, and I just also want to point out that our Sacramento County Office of Education Board of Trustees is a very active group, and they sponsor events like these in collaboration with our local schools and school districts, and I think it really makes a difference. So thank you very much. So Poetry Out Loud is one of our outstanding programs that highlights the value of arts education in our schools. And it begs the question, so why should we support poetry in our schools? Well, poetry enables teachers to teach students how to write, read, and to understand just about any text. Poetry gives students a healthy emotional outlet. Reading and reciting poetry aloud emphasizes speaking and listening skills, sometimes neglected in a regular literature class, and students who don't like writing essays, like I was one of those, could find poetry is their entryway to other forms of writing. The great American poet Robert Frost once said, "Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought and the thought has found words." Today we get to enjoy many talented students who will merge emotion with thought. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies. Mr. Tim Herrera is the Communications Director for the Sacramento County Office of Education. Before joining SCOE, he served as Communications Director for several state of California agencies. And before working in communications, Mr. Herrera spent 20 years, over 20 years, in television, radio, and newspaper. He is also an adjunct professor for Penn State World Campus and National University, and he is the author of several books on public speaking and communications. Folks, please join me in a warm welcome for Mr. Tim Herrera.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers, and welcome everybody to Poetry Out Loud. This is where poetry gets really exciting, if it's not exciting enough already. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate all the time and attention and effort that you've all put into this. The National Endowment for the Arts and the Poetry Foundation have partnered with U.S. and state agencies to support Poetry Out Loud, which is a contest that encourages the nation's youth to learn about great poetry through memorization and recitation. Poetry Out Loud uses a pyramid structure that starts at the classroom level. Winners advance to a school-wide competition, then to a regional and or state competition, and ultimately to the national finals. Who knows, we might have a national contender with us today. Today we will select our Sacramento County representative to the state competition, but before we move forward, I would like to introduce our judges who are graciously giving their time to be with us today. First, I would like to introduce Dr. Steve Winlock. He is the Executive Director of the Sacramento County Office of Education Leadership Institute. He is also a TV personality, theater performer, and educational motivator. Dr. Winlock, thank you for being here today. Our next judge is Dennis Mangers. He currently serves as Strategic Advisor for Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy to Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg. He's also a member of the Board of Trustees of the Sacramento Region Community Foundation. Dennis, thank you for being here today. And also I'd like to introduce Patty Taylor. Patty is Senior Consultant for the California County Superintendent's Educational Services Association Arts Initiative. Patty, thank you for being here today. And from the Sacramento County Office of Education, School of Education, our accuracy judge is Dr. Chris Rowe. Chris, thank you. No pressure, Chris, but we're counting on you. Okay. Some other folks I'd like to introduce to you today and thank them for their help. Cheryl Roberts, our prompter. Scorekeeper Heather Stiers. Carista Yegley is our scorekeeper prompter. Ashley Hathaway and Shawnee Williams Ford in reception. And Tricia Oden, our Poetry Out Loud program coordinator. Let's thank them as a group. What would be an event without some housekeeping rules to get in the way before the competition? But let me tell you a few things. There will be 2 rounds for students to recite their poems. In round 1, the school winners will recite their first selected poem in ABC order according to their first names. There will be a short tally break for the judges and scorekeeper to tally scores, and there will be refreshments out in the lobby. In round 2, students will recite their second poem in ABC order by last name. After the 2 rounds are complete, the tabulator and the scorekeeper will tally their final scores. If there is a tie, and that has happened, the student with the highest overall performance score will win. If that also results in a tie, which has also happened, the highest accuracy score will count. If scores remain tied, each of the 2 finalists will choose one of their poems to recite again, and a separate score will break that tie. With the final tabulation, we will announce the Sacramento County Poetry Out Loud runner-up and winner, who will move forward to represent our county in the state competition in March. So at this point, I'm sure you are tired of hearing from me. You want to hear from some really great students. So I would like to introduce our first student presenter. Alicia Hernandez from George Washington Carver School of Arts and Sciences. Alicia, come on up. Her favorite poet is Edgar Allan Poe, and her hobbies all involve the arts. Go ahead, Alicia.
The Albatross by Kate Bass. When I know you are coming home, I put on this necklace, glass beads on a silken thread, a blue that used to match my eyes. I like to think I am remembering you. I like to think you don't forget. The necklace lies heavy on my skin. It clatters as I reach down and lift my screaming child. I swing her, roll her in my arms until she forgets. The beads glitter in the flicker of a TV set as I sit her on my lap and wish away the afternoon. I wait until I hear a gate latch lift, the turn and key and lock. I sit amongst toys and unwashed clothes. I sit, and she fingers the beads until you speak in a voice that no longer seems familiar, only strange. I turn, and our child tugs at the strings. I hear a snap and a sound like falling rain. Thank you.
Alicia, thank you very much, and thank you for setting the bar so high for all of the other students. Our second presenter is Bernadette Tropel from John F. Kennedy High School. You can applaud. Her favorite poet is Leah Hunt, and she is Kennedy High School's speech and debate cheerleader.
Undivided Attention by Taylor Molly. A grand piano, wrapped in quilted pads by movers, tied up with canvas straps, like classical music's birthday gift to the criminally insane. is gently nudged, without its legs, out an 8th floor window on 62nd Street. It dangles in April air from the neck of the mover's crane. Chopin's shiny black lacquer squares and dirty white crisscross patterns hanging like the second to last note of a concerto played on the edge of the seat, the edge of tears, the edge of 8 stories up, going over. It's a piano being pushed out of a window and lowered down onto a flatbed truck, and I'm trying to teach math in the building across the street. Who can teach when there are such lessons to be learned? All the greatest common factors are delivered by long-necked cranes and flatbed trucks, or come through everything, even air, like snow. See, snow falls for the first time every year. And every year, my students rush to the window as if snow were more interesting than math. Which, of course, it is. So please, let me teach like a Steinway, spinning slowly in April air. So almost falling. So hinderingly dangling from the neck of the mover's crane. So on the edge of losing everything. Let me teach like the first snow falling.
Our next presenter is Cassie Morrish from West Campus High School. Come on up. She would like you to know that she plays 3 instruments. She also likes to knit, draw, and paint, and she would like to go to college and major in English.
Dream of the Phone Booth by Amelia Phillips. My story's told in the misdials, hesitance, and anonyms of crank calls, in the wire's electric elegy and glass expanded by the moth flicker of filament. I call a past that believes I'm dead. On the concrete here, you can see where I stood in rust, lashed to the grid. On the corner of Pine and Idlewood, I've seen a virgin on her knees before the angel of a streetlight, and Moses stealing the times to build a fire. I've seen the city fly right through a memory and not break its neck. But the street still needs a shrine. So, return my ringing heart, and no one to answer it. A traveler whose only destination is waywardness. Forgive us our apologies, the bees and our bells, the receiver's grease, days horizoned into words. If we stand monument to anything, it's that only some voices belong to men.
All right, thank you, Cassie. Our next student presenter is Gina Talcott from Rio Americana High School. Her favorite poet is Tony Hoagland, and she plans to do research in quantum entanglement. We're going to need a description of that. Good luck.
Cathedral of Salt by Nick Flynn. Beneath all this, I'm carving a cathedral of salt. I keep the entrance hidden. No one seems to notice the hours I'm missing. I'll bring you one night. It's where I go when I hang up the phone. Neither you nor your soul is waiting for me at the end of this. I know that. The salt nearly clear after I chisel out the pews, the see-through altar, the opaque panes of glass that depict the stations of our cross. Here is the day we met. Here is the day we remember we met. The air down here will kill us, some say. Some wear paper masks. Some still imagine the air above the green trees, thick with bees building solitary nests out of petals. What's the name for this? Ineffable? The endless white will blind you, some say, but what is there to see we haven't already seen? Some say it's like poking a stick into a river. You might as well simply write about the stick or the river.
Let's have a round of applause for our next student presenter, Joshua Rose from Pleasant Grove High School. Joshua says he likes to do theater in his free time, and after graduation, he would like to pursue acting.
Silence by Thomas Hood. There's a silence where hath been no sound. There's a silence where no sound may be. In the cold grave, under the deep, deep sea, or in the wide desert, where no life is found, which hath been mute and still must sleep profound. No voice is hushed, no life treads silently, but clouds and cloudy shadows wander free that never spoke over the idle ground, but in green ruins, in the desolate walls of antique palaces where man hath been. Though the dun fox or wild hyena calls, and owls that flit continually between shriek to the echo, and the low winds moan, there the true silence is, self-conscious and alone. Thank you.
Please welcome our next student presenter. She is Julia Livingstone from Cornerstone Christian. She likes to participate in musical theater, Christian youth theater, on stage and behind.
Holy Sonnets, Batter My Heart, Three-Personed God, by John Donne. Batter my heart, three-personed God, for you as yet but knock, breathe, shine, and seek to mend, that I may rise and stand, overthrow me, and bend your force to break, blow, burn, and make me new. I, like an usurped town to another due, labor to admit you, but oh, to no end. Reason, your viceroy in me should defend, but is captived, and proves weak or untrue. Yet dearly I love you, and would be loved fain, but am betrothed unto your enemy. Divorce me, untie, or break that knot again. Take me to you, imprison me, for I, except you enthrall me, never shall be free, nor ever chaste, except you ravish me.
Please welcome to the stage our next student presenter, Leanne Bernales from Elk Grove High School. As a hobby, she is involved in mock trial, which is actually going on right now. And she also likes to play the piano, the ukulele, and the bass.
I will be reciting a poem by Brenna Shaughnessy entitled, I Have a Time Machine. But unfortunately, it can only travel into the future at a rate of 1 second per second, which seems slow to the physicists and to the grant committees and even to me. But I managed to get there, time after time, to the next moment and to the next. Thing is, I can't turn it off. I keep zipping ahead, well, not zipping. And if I try to get out of this time machine, open the latch, I'll fall into space, unconscious, then desiccated, and I'm pretty sure I'm afraid of that. So I stay inside. There's a window, though. It shows the past. It's like a television or fish tank, but it's never live. It's always over. The fish swim in backward circles. Sometimes it's like a rear view mirror, another chance to see what I'm leaving behind. And sometimes, like blackout, all that time wasted sleeping. Myself, age 8, whole head burnt with embarrassment at having lost a library book. Myself, lurking in a candled corner, expecting to be found charming. Me, holding a rose though I want to put it down so I can smoke. Me, exploding at my mother who explodes at me because the explosion of some dark star all the way back struck hard at mother's mother. I turn away from the window, anticipating a blow. I thought I'd find myself an old woman by now, traveling so light in time, but I haven't gotten far at all. Strange not to be able to pick up the pace as I'd like. The past is so horribly fast.
I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Myaleah McCauley from Grant Union High School. She enjoys singing, dancing, writing, and playing sports. She especially likes to write music.
The Paradox by Paul Laurence Dunbar. I am the mother of sorrows. I am the ender of grief. I am the bud and the blossom. I am the late falling leaf. I am thy priest and thy poet. I am thy serf and thy king. I cure the tears of the heartsick. When I come near, they shall sing. White are my hands as the snowdrop. Swart are my fingers as clay. Dark is my frown as the midnight. Fair is my brow as the day. Battle and war are my minions, doing my will as divine. I am the calmer of passions. Peace is a nursling of mine. Speak to me gently or curse me. Seek me or fly from my sight. I am thy fool in the morning. Thou art my slave in the night. Down to the grave I will take thee, out of thy noise of thy strife. Then shalt thou see me and know me, death, then no longer but life. Then shalt thou sing at my coming, kiss me with passionate breath, clasp me and smile to have thought me aught save the foeman from death. Come to me, brother, when weary. Come when thy lonely heart swells. I'll guide thy footsteps and lead thee down where the dream woman dwells.
Please welcome our next student presenter, Marley Ross from Capital Christian. Marley's favorite poet is Emily Dickinson, and after graduation, she plans on studying art in college.
Envy by Mary Lamb. This rose tree was not made to bear the violet blue, nor lily fair, nor the sweet mignonette. And if this tree were discontent, or wished to change its natural bent, it all in vain would fret. And should it fret, you would suppose it ne'er had seen its own red rose, nor after gentle shower had ever smelled its rose's scent, or it could ne'er be discontent with its own pretty flower. Like such a blind and senseless tree, as I've imagined this to be, all envious persons are. With care and culture, all may find some pretty flower in their own mind, some talent that is rare.
Well, keep your applause going because we'd like to welcome Naomi Dillard from Intercom High School. She plays varsity basketball and loves to sing, and she is the president of her school's Black Student Union.
Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, of trade winds soft in the sighing trees, of fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams, his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Please welcome to the stage our next student presenter, Sophia Abramsky-C from C.K. McClatchy High School. Her favorite poet is Pablo Neruda, and something interesting she wants you all to know, she loves solving Rubik's Cubes for fun.
Lazy by David Yezi. I don't say the things I don't want to say, or chew the fat with fat cats just because. With favor givers who want favors back, I tend to pass on going for the ask. I send instead a series of regrets, slip the winding snares that people lay. The unruffledness I feel as a result, the lank repose, the psychic field of rye swayed in wavy air is my respite. Among the shivery of clinging egos on the packed commuter train again tonight. Sapping and demeaning, it takes a lot to get from bed to work and back to bed. I barely go an hour before I'm caught wincing at the way that woman laughs so he keeps clucking at his magazine. And my annoyance fills me with annoyance. It's laziness that lets them seem unreal, a radio with in and out reception blaring like hell when it finally hits the station. The song that's on is not the one I'd hoped for. So I wait, distractedly, for what comes next.
And now joining us on stage is Taylor Bradley from Heritage Peak Charter. Taylor enjoys singing and public speaking, and she likes to volunteer at the zoo.
100 Love Sonnets by Pablo Neruda, translated by Mark Eisner. I don't love you as if you were a rose of salt, topaz, or arrow of carnations that propagate fire. I love you as one loves certain obscure things, secretly between the shadow and the soul. I love you as the plant that doesn't bloom but carries the light of those flowers hidden within itself. And thanks to your love, the tight aroma that arose from the earth lives dimly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you directly without problems or pride. I love you like this because I don't know any other way to love, except in this form in which I am not, nor are you. So close that your hand upon my chest is mine. So close that your eyes close with my dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. That is the end of round one. Let's have a nice round of applause for our students. Our first presenter in round two is Sophia Abramsky C. Come on up. She has an interest in many clubs on her campus, and after high school, she would like to attend college and maybe study abroad.
Numbers by Mary Cornish. I like the generosity of numbers. The way, for example, they are willing to count anything or anyone. 2 pickles, 1 door to the room, 8 dancers dressed as swans. I like the domesticity of addition. Add 2 cups of milk and stir. The sense of plenty. 6 plums on the ground, 3 more falling from the tree. And multiplication school of fish times fish whose silver bodies breed beneath the shadow of a boat. Even subtraction is never loss, just addition somewhere else. 5 sparrows, take away 2, the 2 in someone else's garden now. There's an amplitude to long division. As it opens Chinese takeout box by paper box, inside every folded cookie a new fortune. And I never fail to be surprised by the gift of an odd remainder, footloose at the end. 47 divided by 11 equals 4, with 3 remaining. 3 boys beyond their mother's call. 2 Italians off to the sea. 1 sock that isn't anywhere you look.
Please welcome to the stage Leanne Bernalis from Elk Grove High School. Leanne says that after graduation, she would like to attend either UCLA or UC Berkeley and study business.
A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless, patient spider. I marked where on a little promontory it stood isolated, marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere. Oh, my soul.
Please welcome to the stage Taylor Bradley from Heritage Peak Charter. Taylor's favorite poet is Robert Frost, and after graduation, she said she would like to become a teacher.
The Hospital Window by James L. Dickey. I have just come down from my father. Higher and higher he lies above me in a blue light shed by a tinted window. I drop through 6 white floors and then step out onto pavement. Still feeling my father ascend, I start to cross the firm street, my shoulder blade shining with all the glass the huge building can raise. Now I must turn round and face it, and know his one pain from the others. Each window possesses the sun, as though it burned there on a wick. I wave like a man catching fire. All the deep-dyed window panes flash, and behind them, all the white rooms, they turn to the color of heaven. Ceremoniously, gravely, and weakly, dozens of pale hands are waving back from inside their flames. Yet, one pure pain among these is the bright, erased blankness of nothing. I know that my father is there. In the shape of his death still living, the traffic increases around me like a madness called down on my head. The horns blast at me like shotguns, and drivers lean out driven crazy. But now my propped up father lifts his arm out of stillness at last. The light from the window strikes me, and I turn as blue as a soul, as the moment when I was born. I am not afraid for my father. Look, he is grinning. He is not afraid for my life either, as the wild engines stand at my knees, shredding their gears and roaring. And I hold each car in its place for miles, inciting its horn, to blow down the walls of the world, that the dying may float without fear in the bold blue gaze of my father. Slowly, I move to the sidewalk with my pin-tingling hand half dead at the end of my bloodless arm. I carry it off in amazement. High, still higher, still waving, my recognized face, fully mortal. Yet not at all in the pale, drained, otherworldly, stricken, created hue of stained glass. I have just come down from my father. Thank you.
Let's give a warm welcome to our next presenter, Naomi Dillard from Intercom High School. Her favorite poet is Maya Angelou, and she says she loves to sing.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet, the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Our next student presenter is Alicia Hernandez from George Washington Carver School of Arts and Sciences. Alicia says after graduation, she would like to study medicine and become a midwife.
Author's Prayer by Ilya Kaminsky. If I speak for the dead, I must leave this animal of my body. I must write the same poem over and over, for an empty page is a white flag of their surrender. If I speak for them, I must walk on the edge of myself. I must live as a blind man who runs through rooms without touching the furniture. Yes, I live. I can cross the streets asking, "What year is it?" I can dance in my sleep and laugh in front of the mirror. Even sleep is a prayer, Lord. I will praise your madness. And in a language not mine, speak of music that wakes us. Music in which we move, for whatever I say is a kind of petition, and the darkest days must I praise. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Julia Livingstone from Cornerstone Christian School. Fun fact about Julia, she choreographed her aunt's performance for the Polish jazz band Dixie Company when she was just 11. We'd like to see that.
A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles, and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, until it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree.
Our next presenter is Mylia McCauley from Grant Union High School. Mylia says after graduation, someday she would like to become an OB.
Love Song by Dorothy Parker. My own dear love, he is strong and bold, and he cares not what comes after. His words ring sweet as a chime of gold, and his eyes are lit with laughter. He is jubilant as a flag unfurled. Oh, a girl, she'd not forget him. My own dear love, he is all my world, and I wish I never met him. My love, he's mad, and my love, he's fleet, and a wild young wood thing bore him. The ways are fair to his roaming feet, and the skies are sunlit for him. As sharply sweet to my heart he seems as the fragrance of acacia. My own dear love, he is all my dreams, and I wish he were in Asia. My love runs by like a day in June, and he makes no friends of sorrows. He'll tread his galloping rigadoon in the pathways of the morrows. He'll live his days where the sunbeams start, nor could storm or wind uproot him. My own dear love, he is all my heart, and I wish somebody'd shoot him.
Our next student presenter is from West Campus High School, Cassie Morrish. Cassie's favorite poet is Noah Warrant.
High Noon at Los Alamos by Eleanor Wilner. To turn a stone with its white squirming underneath, to pry the disk from the sun's eclipse, white heat coiling in the blinded eye. To these malign necessities we come from the dim time of dinosaurs, who crawled like breathing lava from the earth's cracked crust and swung their tiny heads above the lumbering tons of flesh. Brains no bigger than a fist clenched to resist the white flash in the sky, the day the sun flares pared them down to relics for museums. Turned glaciers back, seared Sinai's meadows black. The ferns withered. The swamps were melted down to molten mud, the cells uncoupled, recombined, and madly multiplied. Huge trees toppled to the ground. The slow life there abandoned hope. A caterpillar stiffened in the grass. Two apes, caught in the act of coupling, made a mutant child who woke to sunlight, wondering. His mother torn by the huge new head that forced the narrow birth canal. As if compelled to repetition and to unearth again white fire at the heart of matter. Fire we sought and fire we spoke. Our thoughts, however elegant, were fire from first to last. Like sentries set to watch at Argos for the signal fire passed, peak to peak, from Troy to Nagasaki. Triumphant echo of the burning city walls and prologue to the murders yet to come. We scan the sky for that bright flash. Our eyes stared white from watching for the signal fire that ends the epic. A cursed line with its seizure. A pause to signal peace, or a rehearsal for the silence.
Please welcome to the stage our next student presenter, Joshua Rose from Pleasant Grove High School. According to Joshua's bio, he spends 80% of his life on Netflix. Thanks for sharing, Joshua.
Requiem by Camille T. Dungy. Sing the Mass. Light upon me washing words, now that I am gone. The sky was a hot blue sheet the summer breeze fanned out and over the town. I could have lived forever under that sky. Forgetting where I was, I looked left, not right, crossed the street, and stepped in front of the bus that ended me. Will you believe me when I tell you it was beautiful? My left leg turned to uselessness, and my right shoe flung some distance down the road. Will you believe me when I tell you I had never been so in love with anyone as I was then with everyone I saw? The way an age-worn man held his wife's shaking arm, supporting the weight that seemed to sing from the heart she clutched. Knowing her eyes embraced the pile that was me, he guided her sacked body through the crowd. And the way a woman began a fast the moment she looked under the wheel. I saw her swear off decadence. I saw her start to pray. You see, I was so beautiful. The woman sent to clean the streets used words like police tape. to keep back a young boy seconds before he rounded the grisly bumper. The woman who courted in the area feared my memory would fly him through the world on pinions of passion, much as, later, the sight of my awful beauty pulled her down to tears when she pooled my blood with water and swiftly, swiftly washed my stains away. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage our next presenter, Marley Ross from Capital Christian. Marley is also a martial artist. She has a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Beginning by James Wright. The moon drops 1 or 2 feathers into the field. The dark wheat listens. Be still. Now, there they are, the moon's young, trying their wings. Between trees, a slender woman lifts up the lovely shadow of her face, and now she steps into the air. Now she is gone. Wholly into the air. I stand alone by an elder tree. I do not dare breathe or move. I listen. The wheat leans back toward its own darkness, and I lean toward mine.
Our next presenter is from Rio Americana High School, Gina Talcott. Fun fact about Gina, when she's not playing in the jazz band, she likes to research antiquated grammar.
Wet Casements by John Ashbery. When Edward Rabin, coming along the passage, walked into the open doorway, he saw that it was raining. It was not raining much. Kafka, Wedding Preparations in the Country. The concept is interesting. To see, as though reflected in streaming window panes, the look of others through their own eyes. A digest of their correct impressions, of their self-analytical attitudes, overlaid by your ghostly, transparent face. You, in fabulas of some distant but not too distant era, the cosmetics, the shoes, perfectly pointed, drifting. How long you have been drifting. How long I have too, for that matter. Like a bottle imp toward a surface which can never be approached, never pierced through into the timeless energy of a present, which would have its own opinions on these matters, are an epistemological snapshot of the processes that first mentioned your name at some crowded cocktail party long ago, and someone, not the person addressed, overheard it and carried that name around in his wallet for years as the wallet crumbled and bills slid in and out of it. I want that information very much today. Can't have it, and this makes me angry. I shall use my anger to build a bridge, like that of Avignon, on which people may dance for the feeling of dancing on a bridge. I shall at last see my complete face, reflected not in the water, but in the worn stone floor of my bridge. I shall keep to myself. I shall not repeat others' comments about me.
Our next and final presenter for round 2 is Bernadette Tropel from John F. Kennedy High School. Some fun facts about Bernadette. After graduation, she hopes to make a career in public policy, and she also says she would like to turn her own life into her own musical. I think we'd all pay for that.
Bent to the Earth by Blas Manuel de Luna. They had hit Reuben with the high beams, had blinded him so that the van he was driving, full of Mexicans going to pick tomatoes, would have to stop. Reuben spun the van into an irrigation ditch, spun the 5-year-old me awake to immigration officers, their batons already out, already looking for the soft spots on the body, to my mother being handcuffed and dragged to a van, to my father trying to show them our green cards. They let us go, but Alvaro was going back. So was his brother, Fernando. So was their sister, Sonia. Their mother did not escape, and so was going back. Their father was somewhere in the field and was free. There were no great truths revealed to me then. No wisdom given to me by anyone. I was a child who had seen what a piece of polished wood could do to a face, who had seen his father about to lose the one he loved, who had lost some friends who would never return, who, later that morning, bent to the earth and went to work.
Thank you, Bernadette, and thank you to all of our student presenters. Can we have a nice round of applause for all these young people? The Sacramento County Office of Education would like to thank all the school coaches for their time, effort, and enthusiasm that they have devoted to the Poetry Out Loud program, and for encouraging all students to learn more about great classic literature. Let's hear it for the coaches. We also would like to acknowledge the many students who participated at their school sites in the Poetry Out Loud competition process. All are winners in gaining a broader appreciation of poetry, developing public speaking skills, and increasing their sense of self-esteem through a powerful and meaningful learning experience. We thank all the participants for their dedication and sharing their talents with us today. First, we would like to announce the Sacramento County runner-up for the 2019 Poetry Out Loud competition. If the winner cannot participate in the state competition, the runner-up will represent Sacramento County. Our runner-up for 2019 from C.K. McClatchy High School, Sophia Obramsky-C. Congratulations, Sophia. And now the 2019 Sacramento County Poetry Out Loud winner is from Inderkum High School, Naomi Dillard.
Today was the Sacramento County Poetry Out Loud competition, and I won. My teacher, Mrs. Pitts, she really helped me with it a lot. Like, she really pushed me, because I wasn't gonna do it at first, and then she really pushed me to step outside of my comfort zone and do it.
A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream to the...
Honestly, I didn't see it going this far, but I mean, I'm gonna keep going and see how far I can take this.